Hi everybody, this is Peter. Today I'm going to be looking at a game called Quick Play Pro Basketball, and it was designed and developed by Michael Owens in the year 2000. And as the game says, it's a quick play game where you're basically rolling a pair of dice once per quarter for each team. So you can play a game in about a minute or so. But then it also has a mechanic for if the game is close enough. If you know, it's called last minute rules. So where you can play like the last minute of play, and it's a fun game to play. And I'll just show you some of the components here, and then we'll get into some sample gameplay, and we'll play a few games. Okay. So here are the rules. It's 14 pages long, and it's very well written. Explains everything in it, how to use all the different charts and stuff like that, and what all the results mean on the charts. And he goes into several examples of gameplay, quarter by quarter, and also with the last minute rules. He also has, he's rated all the teams from, I think it's 1957 onwards, 56, 57, I think it is, up until 2018, 2019, maybe even 1920, I forget. And it's all in an Excel file, and I'll give you the link to where you can get these files from. It's a free game. I forgot to mention that. It's a free game, and it's available at sportsreplays.net. But like I said, I'll leave the link for that at the end. Yeah, so all the team ratings are in Excel format, so you just have to print them out. And he also has rules for how to a normalization rating for each team, so you can play teams from different years against each other, and he goes into detail about how to do that. Yeah, so here's some of the components. This is an example of 18-19 season, and you have teams are rated for offense and defense at home, offense and defense away, and then this CGF is called the close game factor. It's just an indicator of how well teams do in close games. So that might come into play if the score is close enough after 3 quarters. Yeah, these are the main charts here. So once you determine your team ratings for the game, you'll use a particular chart. Like for instance, if it's 104, you're just going to be rolling 2d6 and just reading the column, and this gives you the number of points they score in the quarter. And I'll explain what these different symbols are. This is just one sheet. He's got ratings, I guess, from team numbers from like 80 to 150 or something like that, whatever the maximum is. So they're all here. I just printed out the one sheet. And he's got separate tables for regulation and for overtime. And overtime, I guess there's less points scored, obviously. So then he has a chart here, various charts. One here is for this close game factor, if that comes into play. And then a bunch of charts for the last minute rule section. So it has a last minute clock, so second by second. And then the different strategy. So I'll go into that later, and the charts about what happens when the shot attempts in this last minute rule. So there's no, as you can see, it's just a team-based game. There's no individual stats in this game. So we'll just get right into it here. So I'm going to play Golden State against Toronto. So I have Golden State visiting Toronto. So Golden State, we're looking at the away ratings. So it's their offense rating is 118 and the defense's rating is 1. So I'll just write that down here. Opponent, under the opponent defense for Toronto. So Toronto at home, they're rating is 114 and their defense is -3. So I just write 114 there and -3 in the opponent defense. This is my own chart for scoring the game, by the way. So you just add these two together. So Golden State is 115 and Toronto is also 115. And you note down the close game factor. So Golden State is a close game factor of 2. Toronto is a factor of 3. So you take the difference. Well, you write them down, 2 and 3. And the team that has the higher close game factor, you record that as a difference of 1. So the difference is 2 and 3. Didn't write that very well. So Toronto, the modification is +1, and Golden State, the modification is -1. Okay, so then we're ready to start playing here. So like I said, I just rolled 2 dice and just read off this chart here. Okay, so we're both going to be reading under the 115 thing. So we roll for Golden State. We start with your visiting team in the first quarter. And we roll an 11. And that's 31. So Toronto, roll a 7. And that's 28. Now, the bold, the dice roll is 7, the numbers are all in bold, and that's just to remind you that in the fourth quarter, if you roll that number, then you subtract that score by 2. Okay, second quarter, so Toronto's behind, so we'll start with Toronto. Sorry, keep rolling the dice tray, I guess because I'm standing up. Okay, 8. So Toronto scores 30 points. So they're at 58. So Golden State, roll a 10. Okay, so here we have a special result. So it says 29 plus star. That just means we're going to roll 1 die and add that value to 29. And roll a 2. So that's 31 points for Golden State. So it's 62 to 58 at the half. Go with Toronto, 6. 28. So Toronto is 86 points. And Golden State rolls a 4. And that's, okay, so that's 29 minus star. So that's, again, it's just, we're going to be subtracting the value of this dice here, 3. So that's 26 points. So that's 88. So now, because the score is now 88-86 for Golden State, so if the score is within 3, at the end of the third quarter, use the close game factors. So, get out the close game factor table here, and so we look at regulation. So the difference is 1, and there's just an adjustment to the higher team and lower team. But since the difference is 1, there's no adjustment whatsoever. So you can see if there's a difference, say if there's a difference of 7, you would roll for the fourth quarter score, and for the higher team, you would add 1, and for the lower team, you would subtract 2, for example. But in this case, they're closer together, so there's no adjustment. Okay, so rolling Toronto first, right? They're behind, yep. So let's see. Roll a 7. Oh, here we go. There's a good example here. So 115, 7, 28. So we subtract 2 from that, so that's 26. So that gives Toronto 112. Golden State, we also roll a 7. So Golden State also gets 26. So it's 114. So, wow, this worked out well. So, okay, so in this game, if the score at the end of the fourth quarter is within, if the two teams are within 5 points of each other, then you use the last minute rules. So what you do is you look at this clock situation chart, and we're going to be looking at the trailing one, and there's also one if the two teams are tied, and it tells you who's going to possess the ball. If it's trailing, then the trailing team is going to possess the ball at the beginning. So I read an 11 to find out how much time is left. So it says 40 seconds remaining plus 1 die roll. So roll 1, 1. So we have 41 seconds left on the clock, and Toronto is the trailing team, so they're going to take possession first. And so there's different strategies that you can use. basically six ones. There's normal, there's quick, there's stall, about to run out the clock, and there's also hold for last shot, and you can only use that if there's 7 to 23 seconds left. There's a free throw chart, so you might be referred to this chart from the 2 or 3 point attempt chart. There's also attempted steal, intentional foul, and you can only use that if the trailing team is the only team that can use that, obviously, if they're trying to, and the other team has the ball. And then there's also one more strategy here called attempted steal, press defense. So you can use that if you don't have possession of the ball. Okay, so let's, so Toronto is behind by 2. So I'll look at this, see they're down by 0, 1, or 2 points, 2 points, so they're going to use the normal strategy. So we'll roll on the normal strategy chart. Sorry, and we get a 7. And it says shot 13 seconds elapsed. So we take 13 seconds off the clock. We're down to 28 seconds. And we look at the 2 point attempt chart. And we look at the these numbers across the column that you look at is depending on the difference in the close game factor. And the difference for Toronto was +1. So we look at this +1 column, and we roll a 9. So it says X plus F1. So that means they made the basket and they have a free throw. 1 free throw. So we look at the free throw chart, and we get a 7. And it says 2 to 8 good and 9 to 12 no good. And we roll a 3, so they get the 1 free throw. So they got 3 points out of that play. And so Toronto is now leading by 1. Golden State takes over the ball. Just one thing I wanted to mention with the free throw chart, if there's more than 1 free throw, this result that you get from this chart, the 2 to 8 good and 9 to 12 no good, that applies to all the free throw shots that they get, whether it's 1 or more. Okay, so Golden State's down by 1, and they're going to go with the normal strategy as well. And we get a 6. So it says shot 12 seconds elapsed. So we're down to 16 seconds. And their 2 point attempt. And we look for them, we look at the -1 column because their close game factor was 1 less than Toronto's. And we get a 6. And it's an X2, so that's a 2 point shot. So now Golden State is up by 1. Toronto has the ball, 16 seconds left. Okay, so so they're down by 1 with okay, yeah, they're down by 1, so they're still going to go with the normal. Oh, actually, since there's less than 23 seconds left, they can choose to do this hold for last shot. So so that would pretty much eliminate the possibility of Golden State getting the ball afterwards. So they're going to use that strategy. So we roll a 9, and it says shot attempt, 2 seconds left. So we're down to 2 seconds left, and Toronto rolls a 3, and it's missed. So now, if it's missed, we go to the rebound chart, and we roll for a 2 point attempt. We're going to roll to see if they get the rebound or not. So they have to roll a 7, 8, or 12, and they don't. So Golden State gets the ball, and there's 2 seconds left. So if Toronto did get the rebound, they would, since there's only 2 seconds left, they would do this immediate shot attempt, offensive rebound. If there was a lot more time left, say like 20 or 30 seconds, the offensive rebound team could choose to just start the whole last minute process over again instead of trying to go for the immediate basket. Okay, so Golden State has the ball, and there's 2 seconds left, and they're ahead by 1. And let's see, yeah, up by 1. Normal, 2 seconds left, and it's probably going to run out the clock. 11, normal, shot 15 seconds elapsed. So you see there are possibles of turnovers, but the time elapsed is the important thing. So in this game, you look at you subtract the time first and then you resolve the play. But in this case, since the time goes past 0 seconds, that means the game is over. And so there's no shot attempt in that case. So there you go. Golden State wins that by a point over Toronto. Toronto had a last second shot, but they missed, and they didn't get the rebound. Golden State recovered the rebound, and that was the end of the game. So yeah, that's basically it for the game. Let's play another game here. Okay, so we'll start with Golden State again. 11, 31 points again in the first quarter. Toronto rolled a 6, 28 points. So Toronto in the second, 9. That's 32, so they have 60. Golden State, 7, 28. So 60 to 59 at the half for Toronto. So we're rolling Golden State. 28 again. So that's 87 points. Toronto rolls a 7, so 28. So it's 87-88. So you would normally use the close game factor, but if there's only a difference of 1, so there's no adjustments. So Golden State in the last quarter, 5, 25. So that's 112. And Toronto, 6, 28. So that's 116. So again, we'll go with last minute, because again, it's within 4. But I'm not going to go through the last minute. Again, I just wanted to show you the play. So that's basically it. Like, you know, as you can see, a very simple game to learn, and it's great that all the NBA teams are rated. I don't believe that any other pro leagues are rated, and there's no college ones for this, so it's just the NBA, and a very easy game to learn. So if you're doing like a season replay, or if you want to do a quick project thing, or like a quick playoff project, I mean, you can use this game. So as I said, the link to where you can get this is below. It's on a particular page, and you have to scroll down on that page a bit until you see Mike Owen's quick play games, and then you click on the link and it'll jump down to where his games are, and then I believe it's called Original Basketball. That's what the link is called on the site. And I just want to thank also John Gardner for that sportsreplays.net site for having that available for the gaming community. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, you can just leave me a message below the video, and thanks for watching.